With just 5 hours left before the MLB trade deadline, the baseball world is buzzing with anticipation and anxiety. The clock is ticking, and every second brings us closer to one of the most dramatic moments of the season. For teams, fans, and players alike, this is a day that can reshape destinies and rewrite the storylines of the year. Every American League team faces a crucial decision. Do they push all their chips in for a playoff run, or do they step back and build for the future? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the choices made today will echo for years to come. The pressure is on. Front offices are working the phones nonstop, fielding offers, weighing risks, and trying to outmaneuver their rivals. In war rooms across the league, executives are glued to their screens, analyzing stats, scouting reports, and trade proposals. The fate of entire seasons, and sometimes careers, hangs in the balance. Meanwhile, fans and media are on high alert, refreshing social feeds and waiting for that next big notification. Rumors swirl, predictions fly, and every move is dissected in real time. The excitement is palpable, and the tension is real. Will contenders load up for a World Series run, risking it all for a shot at glory? Or will struggling teams decide to cash in, trading away stars for prospects and hoping to build a brighter future? The answers will shape the league for seasons to come. We'll go team by team through the American League, dissecting the single most pressing question each GM must answer before the deadline. From bold moves to cautious strategies, every decision is under the microscope. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and get ready for a wild ride through the high-stakes world of the MLB trade deadline. This is where legends are made, and where the future of baseball takes shape. Let's start in the AL East with one of the most exciting young teams in baseball, and see what moves could define their season. The Orioles' offense is electric, with young stars like Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson leading the charge. Night after night, they light up the scoreboard and energize the crowd at Camden Yards. This lineup is one of the most exciting in baseball, capable of putting up runs against any pitcher in the league. But as thrilling as their bats are, the postseason is a different animal. In October, pitching takes center stage. The margin for error shrinks, and every pitch is magnified. Teams with deep, reliable pitching staffs are the ones that survive and advance. The Orioles know that to make a real run, they'll need more than just offense. Their rotation, led by Kyle Bradish and Grayson Rodriguez, is promising but still developing. Both have shown flashes of brilliance, but the group as a whole lacks the depth and postseason experience that championship teams rely on. Adding a proven starter could make all the difference. The bullpen, too, has been solid, but in the high-pressure moments of playoff baseball, another high-leverage arm could be the key to locking down late-inning leads and turning close games in their favor. GM Mike Elias has built one of the best farm systems in baseball, loaded with talented prospects. He has the resources to make a big move at the trade deadline, maybe even land a true ace. The question is, will he push all his chips in for a blockbuster deal or opt for smaller, strategic upgrades to bolster the staff? The right move could transform Baltimore from a fun, up-and-coming story into a legitimate World Series contender. The energy in the city is building, and the players believe this could be their year. As the trade deadline approaches, the city is holding its breath, waiting to see if the Orioles will make the leap from exciting underdogs to true October favorites. The Boston Red Sox find themselves in a familiar spot, caught between hope and uncertainty. This season, they've shown flashes of brilliance, with thrilling wins that ignite the fan base, but those moments are often overshadowed by stretches of inconsistency and missed opportunities. The team's record hovers around .500, making it difficult to determine whether they're true contenders or simply treading water. As the trade deadline approaches, the big question looms. Should the Red Sox buy and make a push for a wildcard spot, hoping to catch fire in the second half and give their loyal fans a playoff run to remember? Or is it wiser to sell off valuable veterans like Kenley Jansen and Tyler O'Neill, using their trade value to restock a farm system that could use an infusion of young talent and set the stage for a brighter future? The passionate fan base at Fenway Park expects this team to compete every year, but sometimes the smartest move is to take a step back, regroup, and build for sustained success down the road, even if it means short-term pain. There's also a middle path, the retool. By swapping veterans for MLB-ready players, Boston could stay competitive now while also planning for the future, keeping the window of contention open. With just hours left before the deadline, The pressure is mounting. Every decision is magnified, and the front office knows the stakes are high. Chief Baseball Officer Craig Breslow and his staff are weighing every option, debating whether to double down on this roster or pivot toward a new direction. Their choice will reveal a lot about the organization's long-term vision and commitment to winning. The pressure at Fenway is immense, and whatever path the Red Sox choose, it will shape the franchise for years to come. The Yankees' pitching is elite, but the offense outside Judge and Soto has been inconsistent. They need another bat, someone who can handle New York and lengthen the lineup. The cost for impact hitters is steep, and the farm system isn't as deep as before. GM Brian Cashman faces huge pressure to deliver. One more reliable hitter could make them World Series favorites. If not, another October disappointment looms. The Bronx is watching. The Rays have a surplus of young, controllable pitching, a rare luxury. Their offense, though creative, lacks a true middle-of-the-order threat. The classic Rays move trade a starter for a significant bat. With so many teams desperate for pitching, Tampa is in a strong position. Will they find the right deal to balance their roster? If so, they could become a dark horse in October. The front office is ready to strike. The Blue Jays' window with Guerrero and Bichette won't stay open forever. They're in the wild card mix but haven't broken through. Do they push all in, trading top prospects for a superstar, or make smaller upgrades? The risk is high, but so is the potential reward. Fans are restless for a winner. The next move could define this era in Toronto. The White Sox's season has been a disaster and the core isn't working. Do they tear it down, trading stars like Luis Robert Jr. and Dylan Cease for prospects, or attempt a quick retool? A full rebuild means years of losing, but a retool is risky and could lead to mediocrity. This is a franchise-defining moment. The direction chosen now will shape the next 5 years. The South Side is at a crossroads. Cleveland's pitching and defense are elite, but the offense lacks power. Jose Ramirez needs protection in the lineup. The Guardians rarely chase rentals. They'll look for a controllable bat, maybe an underperformer they can fix. Adding just one power hitter could make them a real threat in October. It's a tough needle to thread, but they've done it before. Can they find the missing piece? The Tigers' rebuild continues, with young talent showing promise but not ready to contend. They're clear sellers. Veterans like Jack Flaherty and Alex Lang could bring back prospects. The question is how aggressively they'll move veterans not part of the long-term core. Every trade is a chance to add future contributors. It's tough for fans but necessary for a true rebuild. Detroit is playing the long game. The Royals are focused on building around Bobby Witt Jr., but need more young talent. Salvador Perez is their biggest trade chip. Moving him would be tough emotionally, but could accelerate the rebuild. Other veterans like Michael Wacha could also be moved. The goal turned today's assets into tomorrow's core. The depth of their cuts will shape the next Royals contender. The future is the focus in Kansas City. The Twins lead a weak AL Central but haven't pulled away. They're one big move, maybe a reliever or impact bat, away from being a real postseason threat. The front office has been aggressive before. Will they do it again? Standing pat is safer, but could be a missed opportunity. The division is winnable, but the goal is more than just getting in. Will Minnesota go bold? The Astros' hopes of a Carlos Correa reunion fell apart, leaving them scrambling for Plan B. The core is still strong, but the offense and infield defense need a boost. GM Dana Brown has the prospect capital, but top options are dwindling. They can't afford to stand pat with the Yankees and Orioles looming. The pressure is on to find an impact player, fast. Houston's consistency is on the line. What does Plan B look like? The Angels face the biggest question in baseball: trade Shohei Ohtani or go for broke. Trading him could net a historic prospect haul, but keeping him means one last playoff push with Ohtani and Trout. If they keep him and miss the playoffs, they risk losing him for nothing. It's the ultimate gamble: asset management versus chasing glory. GM Perry. Minasian's decision will define the franchise for years. The baseball world is watching. This is deadline drama at its peak. The A's are deep in a teardown, focused on collecting prospects and cutting payroll. Every veteran with value, especially pitchers like Paul Blackburn, is on the block. The question isn't if they'll trade, but how many and who. For fans, it's tough to watch, but for the front office, it's about building a new core. The next few hours will see more familiar faces shipped out. Oakland's future depends on these moves. The Mariners' pitching is playoff caliber, but the offense is streaky and inconsistent. Outside Julio Rodriguez, they need more contact and power. President Jerry Dipoto is known for bold moves. Can he add a bat without sacrificing young pitching? The right hitter could make Seattle a dangerous October team. The city expects another playoff run. The pressure is on to deliver. One move could change everything. The defending champs have battled injuries, especially to their pitching staff. The offense is elite, but they need more rotation depth for another title run. GM Chris Young has been aggressive before. Expect the Rangers to be major players. Another impact arm could put them over the top. The question isn't if they'll make a move, but how big. Texas wants to repeat, and they're ready to deal. That's the biggest question facing every AL team as the trade deadline approaches. The moves made today will shape pennant races and the future of baseball. Which team's decision do you think is most important? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more MLB analysis. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for all the post-deadline action. See you next time.